welcome back, or hi if you're new here, welcome. And we're going to show you our new mix today. So we decided to make the Bobby dress by Seamwork magazine. And yeah, we had lots of fun doing it, most of us. And I'll just start because I've got a very positive story to tell. Because I love my dress. And the last few makes for Hiya Pals have been a bit like, I got on okay, but it wasn't like a winner. You know how you sometimes got like a winner? For me, this is a winner. It's super comfortable. I got on really well. I love the fit, so I went for a size 6. What I found really helpful, and I realized that it's not the case for a lot of people, but what I found helpful is that they tell what the model was wearing.
Yeah.
And she was smaller than me because I think she was a size 2, but lengthwise she was about the same.
Okay.
I'm only like a little bit taller. So they said in the description that they lengthened the skirt bit with 4 inches, so about 10 centimeters, and the bodice by 2. Now, the skirt bit I was like, okay, I'll just do the same because the length looks good on her. The top, I don't know what I was thinking. Something went wrong there. I have no explanation why I didn't do it, but I just left it. I think it might have been because I knew I didn't have the wider elastic. So originally it says to use elastic that is like 5 or 6 centimeters wide, like super wide.
Inches, 5 or 6,
yeah. And I was looking up the hashtag online, and somebody had said that she didn't like the super wide elastic because her waist is quite like an hourglass figure, which I have as well, is that if I sort of quickly go in and then out again, so if you would have like a super wide elastic band there, I'm not sure if that would look nice. And plus I didn't have it at home, so those two together I thought, I'll just go with what I have, which is 2.5 centimeters wide. And so I thought if I have smaller elastic, I don't need to turn it up as much. So the elastic is originally sort of stitched into the bodice bit, so you turn it up and you create a casing. So I thought if I turn up less, then I win length in the bodice. That was sort of the idea behind it. Didn't work at all because I made the whole bodice, tried it on, so when it was still like 2 separate pieces, and the bottom of the bodice, without it turned up, was exactly where I wanted it to sit. So what I then did was I added a waistband. So you can see that here, and I just cut 4 strips. No, actually, I've got the 4 seams, so I also have got like a seam on the front and on the side seams and on the back. So I've got like 4 on the outside and then 4 on the inside as well. So it's just literally a rectangle, just a long strip, and I just measured the bottom of the pattern piece of the bodice, and I've created 5 centimeters, so 1 centimeter seam allowance top and bottom. And yeah, just did that like you would usually do. Like I won't get into detail, like sort of, yeah, with another dress that has a waistband or like a skirt, sort of similar. And the only issue that I had with doing it that way is that I have a lot of seam allowances. There were some bits that were...
maybe make it quite bulky, or
yes.
It would be harder to get the elastic through. Was it more fitting?
No, that was actually super easy. Because the fabric is quite sort of flexible. I don't know why. Like I could sort of...
It didn't get... Because I sometimes find that the safety pin gets caught, when you get in between the seam allowances, and that's really annoying.
Yeah, no, for some reason that went really well. So it was more like stitching and pressing that you could tell that it was a bit bulkier. I could have fixed that by making the waistband in one piece, so I would only have one seam that you would put in the back, but I wouldn't have managed with the fabric. So I had to cut it up anyway. And so yeah, that worked out in the end. And it sort of looks like you guys didn't really even see it when I came in.
You didn't notice it. No, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah. So it's fine. I like the V-neck. It's something I don't wear often, but I kind of like it. I used a lot of stay tape, so the fusible, the iron-on stay tape. I used that on the neckline. I used it on the armholes even, because this knitted fabric, which is, by the way, from New Craft House, all their fabrics are, they kindly gifted us fabric, which is super awesome. This fabric is kind of a loose knit, so you can see like the threads, and I thought it was going to be quite tricky to work with, so I thought it would stretch and it wouldn't stretch back. But recovery would be bad, but actually it wasn't. So I used stay tape on like all the curves, which did help, but I found this fabric really easy to work with. It's probably one of the best and easiest knits I've ever worked with. The weight is perfect. It's quite heavy, which I like, but light at the same. That doesn't make sense. Light at the same time, but really good. Sewing it up was really easy. So yeah, positive story from me, really. Louise? Hi. Less positive maybe, but you're getting
still
there.
Positive.
Yeah.
Still positive. It's just for me, I haven't finished. I've been incredibly busy and I didn't allow for enough time. And then I had enough time, but then I got really stuck for this because it's you obviously fully lined bodice.
The burrito.
Burrito, just me and the burrito method just didn't get on. And I've done it before. I've done it for the yoke of shirts.
But it's just weird on an armhole. It's weird. Like when you look at it doesn't, and you're looking at the instructions are pretty clear, but it's just hard to get your head round, and it's just because it's a weird shape, and then you're like, oh, and also you have to do it on two sides and stuff. Like it's not. It's
I thought, like, how is this going to work? That is sort of, it's so difficult to get your head around. It's like, is this? And it's like, well, I'm just going to do it because I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
But just to get your head around.
Yeah, I think I was very sleep deprived and at the same time trying to work out the burrito.
But you've got, like, show this off. This is
I will.
Great start.
So the thing is, I made mine. I did do a change. So I didn't do the fluted sleeve. I repeated the V on the front and the back. So I think that might have made it slightly more complicated, in my mind anyway. And I did try and do it, but like it was getting to the point where I was unpicking so many times, that just ate out my time. So I didn't get to finish, but I will finish. I'm going to use some of Barbara's cotton stays tape, the interfacing tape, and to cover, because the other problem is also I don't use the zigzag stitch, and I don't overlock. I just use the one that looks like a lightning bolt, like it's like
I
the
think
smaller
it's
one,
actually
number
called
6.
the lightning bolt.
Yeah,
it's actually called that. Yeah,
the lightning bolt stitch, because I always think it works better for jersey. Like I do it, that's what I do. But the problem with the it's very, very good, but it's incredibly hard to unpick. So I have got holes, but I feel if I use the interfacing tape,
it'll be grand, sweetheart. And because you'll put that on, and then you can always just stitch a little bit, past the hole. But if you've got the tape on it, then it, you won't get it. Won't make it big. The hole the fabric itself is really lovely. I washed it as well. It had very little shrinkage. The colour stayed really well. I think it's going to look really nice. I just obviously haven't finished in time. That was the only change I did. I will share pictures of it. We will share pictures of it. But on the whole,
you can wear it. You'll wear it in one.
Yeah, I can watch it in one of the other episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's more a case of just sometimes it's better that I finish it well than finishing it awfully.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of this is I'm making clothes for my wardrobe, not just for Pattern Pals. So I just need to take a little bit more time. And if I instead of trying to. So at the moment I'm sewing in very small time slots. If I had time to just fully look at it, but that's just scheduling. It's fine. And this is the first one we've managed. The first one I've done this, so it's fine. But I do think it's going to look really nice. I really recommend this fabric. I'm even making. There was enough like bits that I'm also making pants out of the bare fabric because that's how good it is. For my mister. And yeah, I think it's going to look really nice, but I just didn't finish. And that's about it.
But you'll still have a really great dress, and it's better you take the time.
Yeah.
Like,
because you're going to end up not wearing it if it's not.
Yeah, because I think if I picked it one more time,
it would have been. You stopped at the right because there's no. Well, sometimes when it's like that, you're much better putting it down, going away, coming back to it, and there's absolutely 0 point stress in it, and you'll still have a lovely dress.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you know, and you know how to do it now because
I got here and then Lisa did it, and I was like.
It's one of those things
hell,
when the minute that somebody
lovely,
shows you how to do it, or you know when it just clicks in your brain. Like,
and also like what time, because you were trying
you're
it
doing
in the
it really
evening,
late.
and then you know.
Yeah, I was getting up really like so. I've been working late shifts all week.
Yeah.
But I still have to get up 7 for my kids, and then I'm trying to sew in that little bit before my shift, and it just wasn't working.
Yeah, and everything is worse when you're tired.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But now I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I will share update and everything. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Keep you updated.
Definitely recommend. The only thing is I want to mention is I didn't realise, and I think on mine it's more apparent. So there's on the pattern is like a middle seam. I didn't notice in the pictures. I didn't notice that there's a middle seam.
Yeah.
There's a middle seam on both the front and the back and on the skirts. And for me, I was looking at it going, oh, I'm not sure about that. But I'm glad I did it. I was like, no, I'm going to stick to the pattern and do it. And I think it doesn't look too bad on that. No. But it's definitely something I didn't notice. Like, did you know? I did not notice until I looked at the pattern.
I did know. I didn't realise it was also in the skirt. But then I went back and looked at it because I was silly when I was cutting out and basically cut everything out in the fold by accident. And then I kept the front bit on the fold and put the seam in the back. Like I just cut it after I.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Then you just take away the seam allowance is 1 centimetre, so you don't take much out.
The instructions were good. It's just obviously the burrito is
just
complicated anyway.
Yeah.
So I just got lost, but it's fine. It'll be fixed. But yeah, on the whole, I think the pattern's nice, and I will be doing smaller elastic like you do because I think the same.
Yeah.
I think the elastic's just on certain people it will look alright, but it's
chunky.
Just so chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
was gonna go about the same size as what you did, I think. But yeah, that's everything. Let's go to another finished dress. Let's go to Lisa.
Well, mine's not quite finished because I didn't hem it. Because I wasn't sure if I'm gonna keep it or remake it into something else. Because I don't know. So I finished it yesterday late, and then I put it on, and then I was like, don't really like this. I feel like I'm an extra in Les Miserables because of just how it looks, because it's a lot. I don't know. It's it's not necessarily. I think the issue we were talking about it earlier is when you make your own clothes. It's not like you're in a changing room and you're trying it on and you're like, oh yeah, this looks really nice. I'm gonna get this. Sometimes you have to get to the point you're finished and then you put it on and you're like, oh well, not so sure. So this fabric's really lovely, but I think it's a wee bit too stretchy for this particular dress. So it's a bit baggier than I thought it was going to be, but then also I think that is it is the style, it is meant to be kind of blousy,
right?
Paper baggy,
yeah. So I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I got on absolutely fine sewing it. It does come together reasonably easy, putting the elastics through, creating the channel between the two linings, because that's what you do. It's quite clever in that because the bodice is lined, you make a channel in the lining and then thread the elastic through, which is nice. But was it
not turned? Oh, okay.
No, it's not turned. No, you so what you do is you tack your lining together, but you leave a gap at the back, and then you stitch. Above that line, you stitch a channel in. So I think it's like 6 centimetres or something, so to allow for the elastic room. Yeah. And then you stitch that all the way around, and then you attach it to the skirt, leave the same gap at the back, and then thread the elastic through the channel you've created between the two bits.
Yeah.
So it's and I think it makes a really nice finish. And I kept my elastic wider. and I changed it so I've got the round neck and the V at the back, which I really like, and it was a really easy adjustment to do. I just looked at the back neckline and kind of just drew it on the front of the pattern, and then did the same thing for the back, like just used the same pattern pieces but just switched it around. And I didn't really make any other adjustments apart from I don't have my front is on the fold, and I do have the seam at the back because I kept it in the back, and I just thought, well, I wasn't really sure if I wanted a seam all the way down the front, so I thought I'd try it and see.
It's sometimes also the fabric, because in this fabric I really like it because it's not that obvious, but with a print like that
it would be.
I don't know. I would probably get into pattern matching that, and that would be.
I don't.
See, with mine, I didn't pattern match, but I think because it's so graphic, I don't think it.
I don't.
Do you get what I mean? Like,
seam,
I quite think the seam kind of works because it's really graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite. I feel like
I don't know, but yeah, it
but
does.
like with
it
yours,
does depend on the fabric.
With the stripe as well, might have been an absolute.
So this for me is very much a wearable toile. Like, but then I don't know if I would make it again. It's just not quite my style. But I mean, the pattern is lovely. It looks great on you, and I'm sure your dress will look amazing when it's finished. But I just I don't normally shorten things in the body in jersey. But this is very long on me, in like the waist actually sits quite a lot lower than my actual waist. So I'd say if you are petite and you're short waisted, you might want to think about shortening the bodice as well. But
I was thinking like how good it was, because I don't know if you guys have seen that as well, you know, the note that I was talking about what the model was wearing. How I realized that there's not a lot of people that, because I'm always the tallest one in any room, that there's not a lot of people that can relate to that. So how good would it be if a pattern company would have like 3 different or like 4 different models, and then with a note, okay, this is what it looks like if you shorten the bodice by 2 inches and lengthen it. So
like
because it was really helpful for me,
like,
but not helpful for most other. Or a lot of other people.
I guess that's just a lot of work for.
I know, but in a dream world, that's what
would be nice.
that would be nice if they would do that.
Well, sometimes you know when they reshoot it with a different model or they do something like that, if they just put what
adjustments they made.
Exactly, because it would help at least like one person, or you know, that would be similar. Because I haven't seen it before. I don't know if any other companies do, but I hadn't seen it before. That it was so specific. It was her, well, obviously just bust, waist, hip measurement, and her full length, and then what they've done to make it fit her.
They do it in ready to wear. They do put like the model is this, like they do.
When you shop, when
you're shopping ready to wear, so it's like they do that because then you can be like, oh yeah, okay, like that. I know what to do like that. So it's kind of like coming across there, but that is helpful because I've done it before in ready to wear, and I've been like, oh, that model's pretty much the same measurements as me. I can get that one.
It's easy, isn't it? Yeah, I found that pretty good.
It is good,
but just
awesome.
Just a thought. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you were finished or not.
Well, I am now. Thanks.
No, I think with this one, like you look nice with the belt, and like when you were filming it, and then you took the belt off, and all of us were like, "That's quite nice." So I feel like if you put that in your wardrobe and think about it, that's what I mean. And think about it before you start hacking it. Then,
I'm gonna see if I actually wear it, and then if I don't wear it, I'm gonna make it into something else because the fabric is too nice to waste, and I really like the colour.
The colour looks so good on you.
So,
the colour is so nice.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, it is nice having a really bright plain dress because then you can accessorize it with other things. So. We'll see, but I mean, it is super comfy. I mean, I would recommend it if you want kind of a loose fitting, summer dress that's kind of easy to just chuck on. It's just not quite my usual style, so we'll see. We'll see how much wear I get out of it. But other than that, like it was nice to sew up. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So that's it from us, guys. Thanks again to New Craft House for our fabrics.
Thank you.
And if you like this video, you know what to do. Thumbs up, like, and all the things that you need to do. Follow us if you want to see more. And that's it. Next time we will show you what we're going to make next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. Am I forgetting anything?
Before we go, everybody that left us a comment on the video when we asked you about suggestions. That
great.
was amazing.
That was so good,
yeah.
and there were so many good ideas. So we're definitely
we're going to bring some of those videos to you.
Soon.
Thank you so, and it's just so nice when you engage with us. It's so helpful.
I know we don't always have time to reply, but we do read them all. So
and we always try to like. We
Yeah.
always try to do the like button. But yeah, thank you so much.
It's just we try to like. It's like no, we like and then
No, we do like. We
Thumbs
always,
up.
we
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
do the thumbs up. So yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Bye.
bye. Yeah, bye. That's it.